If a client came to you and said they wanted to use Wix, it might make you feel like maybe you've got no role in that site. I found out recently that Wix actually does allow for developers to deal with the data layer. And if you're a developer who prefers to not touch the design part of the front end, this could actually be a really good solution. So this is going to be a video where I'm going to take a no-code Wix site and we're going to use custom code on the back end to define the data that gets displayed inside of that. We're going to do an image gallery. Wix did sponsor me for this video. I'm really glad they did because I wouldn't have believed it until I saw it with my own eyes. Stick around. I'm Jason Langsdorf. Let's learn something new. We're going to open up the Wix Studio. I'm looking at the developer first section of the tooling, which is here under product and development. And that's how we're going to build our site. So I'm going to head into my Wix Studio. I'm going to create a new site and I'm going to start from a blank canvas. So once we're in the site, I'm going to add an element and we want to use a gallery. We can choose, a collage or something like that. This is what our client's going to do. We don't have to care about this at all. What we do care about is if we click open this developer tooling here and hit start coding, it's going to bring us into developer mode. And once this is open, we're going to click through until we get to our gallery. Here it is. And we can see here that it's got an ID of gallery 1. And if we wanted to, we could write the code here, but I want to take advantage of Wix's new VS Code based in-browser IDE. So I'm going to click this and inside you can see this looks just like the VS Code browser. We are going to jump right in and go to the home page. So they add a hash on these. So we've kind of got like things that'll show up globally. We've got our individual pages and then we've got a full screen. What we care about today is this home page. So the way this works is we get this W call. And this will probably look familiar if you've ever used something like jQuery. This is called the Wix Editor Elements API. It's part of the Velo APIs offered by Wix. So this is the one that we're going to be using, but note that they have a huge number of additional APIs down here that let you do a whole lot more than what we're going to show in this tutorial, but it's a little out of scope for today. So make sure you check these out on your own. And inside, we're going to grab the gallery, which matches that ID of the image gallery that we created. And then inside, we want to set the items. And the items are going to be an array. There's a known issue right now where the type is inferred incorrectly. That's in progress, but for now, we're just going to set a TS expect error so that we don't get that red squiggly. That will be fixed in time. And the way that this works is we're telling the gallery that we want to set which items are displayed inside of it, and each of those is going to be an object. So our first object here is going to be the first image, and so we can set it's a type of image. It's got a title, a description, alt text, a source, and a link where it links when somebody wants to click on it. The alt text is not documented, but I did test it and it does work. So please do include that in any of your images. So this file auto saves. So if we head back over into the studio, we can see this code is auto updating, but it does show that the IDE is open. So this is read only. I can then go into the preview, and inside the preview, we see that our image has updated. And that's the image that we just uploaded. So now as a developer, I've dynamically set this data, but the customer still has full control over the layout of it, which is really, really nice. So to finish this out, let's put the rest of our images in. That's a big collection of images. They all have the same type. They're all images. They've all got the same fields. And then when we head back out, we can see that the site quickly updates. And now we've got all of our images and they're showing up the way that we would expect. So the really nice thing here is if I go back in and I decide that I want to change the settings, my customer can come in and say, oh, let's change it to a slideshow. And when we go back out to the site, we can see that it's still using our images, but it respects what the user wants to do with their layout. So this is allowing our clients to keep the no-code workflow, but we as developers get to use code to populate the content of the site. So let's try this again, but this time we're going to use the fetch API and load images from a REST endpoint. So the way this will work is we make it an async function and then we await a call. We're using the dog CEO API, which is a nice way to load a bunch of different images of dogs. And we're going to get all images of corgis. Then once everything is loaded, we get into the data and map over it to change these to match the shape expected by the Wix APIs. Then we set the items to be our mapped images. And if we head back out to our previewed site, we'll see that the images update. And now we've got a slideshow of corgis. We only looked at a single workflow, but to be honest, the browser-based IDE and this library of APIs has changed my mind on whether or not Wix is compatible with developer workflows. I think if I were a developer who didn't want to manage the front-end design of a site at all, Wix is actually a viable tool for that. If I'm only working on the middle tier, this is actually good. I don't know that I would have believed it going into this video, but to be completely honest, I think Wix is now on my list of tools to consider depending on the needs of the project. Thanks again to Wix for sponsoring this video. We'll see you next time.